Change your mind, change your money, change your life. I am Coach Rob Lee Simmons, the host of this podcast, and let me be your tour guide to greatness. If I was doing any better, I would be you. Welcome to the Greatness Academy podcast. I am lucky to be here with Miss Gail McCray. She is the CEO of Not Your Average Credit Repair. So she's a credit repair specialist. And on top of that, an outstanding mom. And don't forget, she is active duty. First Sergeant, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. How about yourself?
I'm good. All is well on my end. So, hey, I really thank you for coming on and joining me, because I believe that you have just a wealth of knowledge to share with our listeners today, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you inviting me.
So I want to just kind of get hot and heavy into one of my favorite topics about you, is that you are completely noticeably physically fit. How much does being physically fit play a part into how you operate as a leader and as a business owner and as a mom and just an overall boss?
Well, first it takes discipline. I feel like even if I didn't have to do it for the Army, I'd still do it. Every morning I get up and I go to the gym at least 5 days a week. That plays a role into how I discipline my soldiers in order for them to stay healthy and in shape. And then my kids, they play sports. So, that kind of feeds into that also. So it's kind of like, hey, I can't really tell my kids go and be physically fit and play sports if I'm not doing it myself. Plus, that's one of my outlets. Me working out in the morning, it kind of gets my day started. Once I get in that gym and I get a good workout, the rest of my day goes smooth. I've got out all the frustrations, and that's kind of what I do. That's my outlet. I definitely go to the gym and I have to work out. Sometimes I even make programs for other people. So I do workout programs for other people. And then the Army decided, hey, let's go and send her to a certification school to be certified to do physical fitness. So yeah.
I seen that you were once I seen you were Master Fitness qualified, I was like, oh yeah, she the one. We're gonna talk about this. Yeah. So what motivates you every morning to want to get after it, like targeting physical fitness as the first goal in the morning? I mean, outside of the Army making you want to do that, I think wholeheartedly, if you weren't in the Army, you have this mentality that would be the first thing that you would do in a day. What drives that?
I just like working out. I did sports in high school. I did track and field from high school to college. I ran for college. So it's like, once I started playing sports in school and working out and going to the gym, is just something I really loved. So I just continued to do it. I just added it into my life. It's a regular routine now. And that's how I go about it pretty much. It's just part of my life. That's part of my morning routine. Like, everyone has their thing and that's mine. It's like, get to the gym, work out. I can stay healthy. I want to look like some of these people that's been on TV lately where they're like, oh, I'm 60 and 70 and they look how they look. And I'm like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do.
I want to be cut up. I want to be cut up with the gray hair. I want to be like the real sugar daddy. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get there.
The Silver Fox Club.
Yeah. I'm trying to get in the Silver Fox Club, skates and all.
Right.
So let me ask you, being active duty and also being a business owner, I know that takes a toll on your time. How did you decide to get into business, and how is business like in this stage in your life? Because I know you're going through a lot of transitions. How are you balancing that? I would call it work-life balance, but it's just life balance, right? So how does that look like? What does that look like for you?
All right. So I started and I chose credit repair because, I went to college and became that awesome college student and got all those awesome loans and all these extra bills. And then it was time to finish and got ready to do life and wanted to buy some things and kept hearing about this credit. Okay, what is this credit? Oh, your credit ain't good enough. Okay, well, what is this credit? What are these numbers? How do we get to these numbers? Why are these numbers low? What can I do? So I just really First of all, I was self-taught. I started reading a lot of books about credit scores, how they get the numbers they get, where they come from, the type of accounts to have that build credit and stuff like that. And no one teaches that. You get out of high
Nobody.
school, you graduate, you go to college, and the first thing you see is a long line or table of loan officers, and they're having you sign up for all these loans. But what they're not telling you is half of these loans start while you're in school. They're starting to accumulate. They accrue interest every day. And before you know it, you're out of college and you have all this money to pay back. So that's kind of how I got started in credit repair. I was like, you know what? Let me just learn about it. Let me help other people out that don't know about it. So my goal is I also plan on to being able to go to high schools and talk to juniors and seniors about building credit and what credit is before they get out and start jacking it all up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's as far as starting a business and being active duty, yes, you have to burn the candle at both ends. It's like I never sleep really. And it depends on how bad you want it. So I burn the candle at both ends. I stay up late. I continue to study. Right now I'm doing real estate also on top of my credit repair business. It's kind of slowed down just a little bit because of the workload and my job changing as far as active duty. But I kind of stay in the know. I still mentor other personnel about credit. Actually, I got my own sergeant major because he wants to start a credit repair business
Nice.
also. So I've been mentoring and meeting with him about it. I plan on giving classes on the active duty side to some of the soldiers. I've had soldiers come up to me because it's on my vehicle. So I advertise on my vehicle and I have people come up and ask questions. So
Yeah, so definitely when we're done with this, I want to show you another avenue because I'm always about sharing another avenue of approach that you can use without burning the candle at both ends, using a few other methods to be able to teach and sell the information that you have. I think you're definitely one of the people who got me into looking at credit repair seriously and looking at the potential that it has, not only to make money, but the ability to help people. I know you got into it to help people. So how, and I think you said a little bit, but I want to kind of go into detail, is how do you kind of foster that knowledge with the soldiers that you have? Because I think one of the things that you said earlier was that, when you first get to college, there's a credit card application at the front of the line when you get right when you go through the front door, right? And I believe that's the same thing when you get a soldier to their first duty station, or you get them to the PX. Everybody, I think everybody and their mama got a star card, right? Everybody but me, because I got a star card. I knew what the star card did. As I was building my credit, I got rid of that thing so fast. And then every person that I've served so far, been in the Army, yeah, you got a star card, yeah. It's just mind blowing. But and getting back to that, how do you foster that information to your soldiers? How do you teach them not all credit is bad, and how to establish their credit and how to watch out for that? Is there do you have like a set program? How does that work on your end?
For the soldiers right now, it's been as far as, again, they see the advertisement on truck and it just starts a conversation. Sometimes, well, even being in the first sergeant seat, you got soldiers that want to get AER loans, and I'm like, okay, why do you need this AER loans? And again, things happen, but then I'm kind of like that finance advisor over at AER. And you're just like, okay, well, let's look at it. What do you have? What is it that you don't need? What are you buying? And soldiers today, they gotta have the rims, and they gotta have the chargers and the scat packs and the this
Right.
and the that, the whole soldier package when you first come in.
Exactly.
But most of the time the conversations are started by, hey, son, I thought, I heard you do, you do credit repair. And then we just go into it. I ask them simple questions like, well, when you plan on getting out, what are you doing? Do you have a rainy day fund? What do you have going on? Because, again, the conversation starts even with soldiers that's about to get out. Okay, do you have money set to the side? When do you plan on getting out? And then it just goes into the conversations of credit repair, money, finances, having accounts set to the side. So it's not necessarily digging into. It's just literally soldiers will come to me and just start asking questions about it.
No, that's good. And I think that it's so hard. And I know this ain't the greatness military podcast, but of course everybody knows I am an active duty NCO as well. But I really want to talk about really the greatness of NCOs, because they are leaders, and not all leaders are approachable. And for you to be able to have a side business and be approachable to your soldiers, I really commend you for that, because that's just dopeness, because everybody doesn't have that.
Yeah.
And I think that is really a strength in your leadership and character. So let's talk about your two dogs. What kind of dogs you got?
So I have a Shih Tzu named Sophie, and I have a Boston Terrier named Bella.
And how much do they get under your nerves, or do you love them so much?
Both. I love them so much, and sometimes they get on my nerves, because when I want to sit on the couch or relax with my blanket, as soon as they see a blanket, they got to come and cuddle with me. So it's like all in my space sometimes, or they're whining because they want to go outside or something like that.
I know it. So it's crazy. I kind of wish we had pets, but you know, I don't think it's really, you know, financially. I don't think we're not financially ready. I think we're not just responsible. Like, it's kind of a balance in between, you know, having to get the dog food and the toys, and you know, and then having to take them for a walk, and every 5 minutes, and it's 10 kids, and all 10 of them will forget. I mean, I got 8 kids, but I feel like it's 10 of them. They all 10 of them will forget to take the dog out. So I know you got 2 kids. Let's transition to how you know, that's just adding another layer of your greatness. Like, I work out in the morning, then I gotta take care of these 2 kids, and then I gotta, you know, go take care of these other 100 kids in the army, and then on top of that, I gotta take care of everybody else when I get out of class, and then you know, I mean, out of my business, and then on top of that, I gotta find time for my afternoon workout, walking the dog, and making sure the kids eat dinner. So you got 2 kids. What is it that you teach them about the finance reports or credit reports?
So they both have their own bank cards. My son right now, he has a green light because he's not old enough to have like a Navy Federal bank card. So my daughter, she has a Navy Federal bank card. She has a savings account. She has her checking account, and then she has an account that she doesn't even know about. But I help them manage. And because she started driving now, she now has to use some of that money for gas. So I'm teaching her, like, you know, it's all good to, you know, be able to go to the mall and get some of the stuff that you want to get, because she's 16, she's a teenager.
Oh yeah.
But now I'm telling her, hey, slow down on spending that money. That's supposed to go, you know, into your account for rainy day funds. Things happen, cars break down, things like that happen. So I'm teaching them to balance and manage their money. At the same time, I had told her about a credit card, but she's going to be added on to mine so that she can have credit started early. And I've been giving her pointers about credit. We've talked about credit because she was like, at first, my mom, it's a card. You should just be able to swipe it. It's got money on it. And I'm like, yeah, it does. But there's a limit and you got to pay it back. So she's just like, oh, I just thought it was a card. You just keep swiping. I was like, yeah, you got to be able to pay it back. You got to have a job. That money has to go back into what you spent because you're borrowing it. That's what it is. Credit is you're borrowing it from someone else.
Right.
With my son, it's a little different because he's not, I would say, too in tune with what credit is. So with his green light card, his is about chores. So he's more along the line of, okay, well, if you work, you get money. When you get money, you're able to buy what you want, but then you have to manage it because then you have to buy certain items that you need, toothpaste, deodorant, stuff like that, rather than, oh, I just want to go buy chips, candy, and soda. So both of them are kind of on a different spectrum as far as finance and credit and stuff like that, but I'm steady teaching both of them about what it is.
That's good. I mean, that's tough because, and I say that with 8 kids, but that's tough because, you know, you got kids at different levels of where they are financially, and you're able to decipher what each kid needs. I can tell you that is a very delicate balance in my household. It's tough because I I think mine is like on the opposite end of the spectrum. So my 16-year-old, he is like the 12-year-old, like he's like, let me balance my money and save it, but he works and he will get $346 for his check, and then he'll go buy $300 shoes, and now he got $48 for the next 2 weeks. And I'm like, when we go over this stuff, we talked about it. We went through the Dave Ramsey Kids podcast. Like, he's my oldest kid, and so I've poured all of this into him, and I can't figure out for the life of me. And again, in some people, it is just personality. Because my daughter, she is she 10 or 11? Don't judge me. She is it's 2023. She's 10. She's a business owner, and she is analytical with her money, and she never goes to the store with all of her money, and she goes and gets exactly what she wants. And so, like I say, some of it is personality, some of it is what I taught, but it's amazing that you're able to that's a completely different frequency to teach at, and that you're able to balance that on top of being a business owner, on top of making sure that they have to eat, on top of, you are killing the game. I really appreciate all of the great things that you're doing. So, credit repair, I know this is really what the people want to hear. Give us some free game. We just want some free chicken. What you got? Tell us how to get our credit report right.
All right. So first, freeannualcreditreport.com. It's a thing. It's a real website. You can go and pull it only once a year. What I do with that is, the first part you want to look at is the spelling of your name, whether it's correct, and your addresses. The reason I say that is because if your name is spelled wrong, or it has a wrong middle initial, or the address is wrong, any account that is tied to that misspelling of your name or the wrong address and information, those accounts attached to that are already null and void. Those can be wiped off your credit report. I would say be organized. Be organized with your finances, whether that means setting up auto pay, because a lot of people forget a bill, or they forget they didn't pay it, or whatever the case is. So you always want to be organized, and you always want to pay attention to the payments that are due. Using automatic pay, most companies now, they give you a % off, or a couple of dollars off if you have it set up with automatic pay. So that's a good one. Again, don't open too many accounts at once, especially if you go to a car lot and you're looking for a car. They will bounce that thing to about 8 banks at a time. That's about 3 to 4 points per bank that they shoot it out to. So your credit score will definitely go down. And if possible, you always want to pay a little bit more than what it says for your minimum payments. You always want to pay a little bit more if possible, especially on your revolving accounts. So those are kind of some of my tips that I tell people.
No, those are good. Those are really good. I think so in the Financial Greatness Academy, I have a portion of my course where it just shows you how to read your credit report, because a lot of times people don't even know how to read your report. Read their report. So when you break it down that way to say, hey, this is how do you read your report, and if this is incorrect on your report, it needs to come off, right? And then good things happen after that anyway. So just ensure, and then the especially the part about being organized, that definitely comes with all of that, because now I'm looking at my personal information on my account. I see, hey, this ain't the right birthday, or my social is off, or my name is misspelled, or y'all got the wrong initial. I've seen that on a couple where the initial is just completely wrong, or I have addresses in here that don't even belong to me. Okay, so now we can get somewhere. Being organized and always having your report looking clean is kind of the best approach to that. So we know that inquiries, they stay on your report for about 2 years. So, like, what would be your suggestion on a number of accounts to take on at one time? And then, do you have any keys to removing inquiries if you know that they don't belong to you?
So first, with how many accounts to attack at one time. Anytime I'm working on someone's credit, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, I usually do 3 to 5 accounts that are tied to those. If you do more at one time, they will flag it as fraudulent activity. So 3 accounts from Equifax, 3 from TransUnion, and 3 from Experian at a time, 3 to 5. Again, any more than that, they're going to flag it like, okay, some fraudulent activities going on. Why are we trying to pull all these credits off? What are all these letters? Trying to correct this stuff. So that's kind of how I do. Then as far as the inquiries, some states, of course, will make them stay up there for 2 years. Those are kind of a back and forth trying to get off, because after a certain point, they actually don't pull or bring your score down. I know when they first hit, they bring the score down instantly. That same day it's pulled. But after that, they don't really bring the score down anymore. They just fall to the back page as being either a hard or a soft inquiry.
Right.
So it's really within that first week or so that you pull all those things at one time. One of the things I started doing was when I went to a car lot, I would already have a pre-approved check by the bank that I dealt with. That way they're not pulling it from a million different banks that they
That's a great
associate with.
tip. I do the same thing.
Yep, I already have it. I hand it to them, hey, I don't want my credit being pulled. I already got a check. Stay within these numbers and we should be good to go.
Exactly. Exactly. So looking at all of the like probably credit accounts that you've seen across other people's reports, and of course we're not gonna like name people because that'd be kind of fiduciaries. You don't give out people's personal information. But what are some of the accounts that you've seen are the most consistent on other people's reports? Like I say, for me, it's probably that Star card. What you got?
Ooh, medical. Medical bills. And
Mm-hmm.
that's more on the civilian side than if it were soldiers, but it's definitely medical. For soldiers, it's more like those Pioneer loans, those Omni loans and stuff like that that I usually find on theirs, or car repossessions, maybe when they were maybe had an apartment and then was evicted. So that's the kind of stuff I mostly see. Especially on the civilian side, same things, medical bills, car repossessions, and stuff like that.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years financially?
Ooh, definitely owning my own business for real estate first. Definitely having a fallback, I guess, another account. I haven't gotten too much into investing. That is one of my goals that I plan on trying to do before I reach my 5-year mark, so that I can have that rainy day fund and money set aside for retirement in 5 years.
Oh yeah,
almost there.
I got you. Yeah, we'll link after this. I'm gonna show you another avenue. This is just like investing 101. I'm gonna show you the best way to just get started with minimum risk. And then if you want to get into the risky stuff, you can do that later, but I'll show you.
Yeah, most of my money is in land and houses right now. So I plan on extending that, getting quads and stuff like that. So most of mine will be like land and homes and investments like that, because I know that's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I think you just have like the coolest story, because I kind of know what your situation looks like financially. I love your family dynamic, and then the way that you have just this incredible Army career on top of having a lucrative business, on top of trying to establish another business. I wanted to ask you that question just to kind of see what your foresight is of your trajectory, and I think it's going to be great, because everything that you touch turns into gold. I really appreciate having you on today, but I do want to ask my favorite question before we get out of here. So what is the largest one-time purchase that you've made, and then how did it make you feel when you had to drop all that cash?
My first house. Woo. It felt great, because I wouldn't say that I rented a lot of homes, but I did rent at least one. And the amount for rent and what mortgage is, I'll take mortgage any day.
Right.
Any day. But
Right.
yes, it would have been my first house. I was excited. And a lot of people get stuck on trying to hang with the Joneses on, hey, you should have a house by this age and stuff like that. Not true at all. It depends on your financial situation and what you have going on. But that very first house that I moved into in North Carolina and saying, oh my goodness, I did it.
Yeah,
This
this
is
mine.
mine.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
that was an awesome feeling.
I love it. I love it. So on the podcast, we say winners win. And you're a winner in my eyes. And I thank you for jumping on. And I love it because when you win, we win. We're out.